What's going on, boys and girls? All right, man. I was just chatting with a couple old buddies of mine from grade school 90 years ago. And a bunch of shit came up. And I'm like, damn, dude, I got to do a video here. Anyway, I live in Rockford, Illinois, which is the second largest city in Illinois, under Chicago. They're putting up a new data center. Couple different data centers, but one of the biggest one is a $12 billion data center ran by some company named Monarch out of San Diego, California. Okay, I guess they're putting data centers up all over Monarch. Something, and okay, MK Ultra, Monarch, Mind Control. That's that program that the government had going on years ago. They were grabbing people, putting them on drugs, trying to turn them into zombies and all kinds of shit. You know, basically what Dr. Fauci and his wife do. We'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, yeah, I found that odd. This company is called Monarch, which is mind control. Okay? And they're the ones building the beast system that is going to give AI all the power it needs to control humanity. And as I was talking to these buddies of mine that I used to grew up with, you know, and I was telling them that ever since the days of Jesus, the world leaders, the Satanists that work for Satan, they've had one thing in mind: slaves. It's all about slaves. Caesar had his slaves back in Jesus' day. They had their militaries, they had their police underneath their control because of money, the root of all evil. All the police and all the military, they obey Satan because of money. They get paid. Money, the root of all evil, as Jesus said, controls it all. So if you got money and you can feed it to these people, they're under your control. You guys understand that? You see how that shit works? Isn't that wild? How the Bible refers to money as, you know, the love of money is the root of all evil. All evil, money controls it. Prostitution, drugs, child sex trafficking, they're making money on it. Government, corruption, money. The justice system that is corrupt as shit underneath Satan, the government, money. Lawyers, judges, money. The whole damn system is underneath the love of money, the root of all evil, just as the Bible explains. Anyway, man, that data center going up in Rockford that's going to give the beast system all the power it needs to control humanity is from a company called Monarch, Mind Control. Isn't that freaking wild? Anyway, man, I found that wild. I started putting that together. So, yeah. Let's get back to Dr. Fauci and his wife, okay? I said something about that earlier. Did you know that him and his wife are responsible for experimenting on humans and animals? So thousands of missing people go missing every year. Homeless people, other people, women, men, you name it. Thousands and thousands of missing people every year. Where do they go? You know, some people are murdered, abducted, whatever. But, you know, you got guys like Fauci and his wife. They're both responsible for human experiments. Hitler was doing it to people in his little labs underground. They were experimenting on people with fluoride, the shit they put in your water. That is legal. That many people haven't figured out yet is a neurotoxin that dumbs people down so they obey the government. Believe it or not, that's in your water. It's in your toothpaste. Where else are they putting it? And you see in dentists, they're so freaking dumb, they don't realize, they don't even have the brain capacity to know that fluoride was used by Hitler and these people. The hospitals that want to give you all this, all the doctors and nurses that are for this, they're brain dead because they don't understand the government is of Satan. They don't understand where this shit's coming from. They just know that Satan has told them that everybody needs this. Okay? Everybody needs this, so make it happen. And then the doctors and the nurses, they're brilliant. They can pass tests and get their degrees, but they have no spiritual knowledge. They're that brain dead. They will go ahead and do what Satan says. You guys see how that works? You guys get that? So anyway, Dr. Fauci and his wife, they're in charge of experimenting on humans and animals. Did you know Dr. Fauci one time, this came out, he took a bunch of beagle dogs, I don't know how many, 100 or 200 freaking dogs, and he locked their heads in a box, a clear box where they could see, full of some kind of bugs, fleas, or whatever the hell they were, and these bugs would eat these dogs alive. They just wanted to know. I don't know what the experiment was about, but these dogs were being killed by these bugs, eaten alive, their heads. And these doctors that were doing the experiments underground in these labs, they didn't want to listen to the dogs barking and yelping and screaming, so they had their voice boxes cut out so the dogs could not bark. This is the dude that is in charge of all of this going in to every single human in the world. 98%, 95% of all the humans took that shit that this guy is in charge of administering. Okay, the same guy that is doing cruel experiments on animals, and his wife who does cruel experiments on humans underground in freaking labs with people that will never be heard of again. Same way that they're doing on Epstein Island, raping and killing all these kids that will never be heard of again, that never got justice, but they will get justice. Okay, all these abortion clinics where millions of babies are being slaughtered by Bill Gates and his daddy, Planned Parenthood, they will get justice. Okay, God is the judge. Believe you me when I say it, everybody is going to stand the judgment before God in the end, and they're going to get their pay. So justice is coming. Not down here at the corrupt justice system, but real justice. Anyway, man, that's it. I wanted to expose Dr. Fauci a little more in this new data center that I come to find out they named Monarch, MK Ultra. Pretty interesting. Brainwashing. AI, brainwashing. Elon Musk. Okay? AI, Neuralink. He wants to implant chips in your brain, which would be brainwashing, because now he's going to give AI control over your brain. That's what Elon Musk wants to do. It's already up and running. How many people did Elon Musk have to experiment on to get that brain chip to work correctly? How many people died in the process of cutting holes in their head and implanting computer chips to get it meshed up with the brain so the brain is accepting commands from AI? How many people died? How many people? I mean, who the hell? You can't tell me that they just developed this and it's just going to work without testing it on how many thousands of different people that may have died in the process. Am I right? I mean, you just can't bring something like that up and it's going to work, and you know it's going to work the first time. It had to have been tested, just like Dr. Fauci does on all his victims, just like Dr. Fauci's wife does on all her victims, just like the government did with MK Ultra on all its victims, just like Hitler was doing on all his victims, and all the other countries, Russia and China and all the other ones, do it as well. You guys understand what kind of world we're living in, right? This is Satan's world. Satan runs it. Satan owns it. Satan controls it, and these people work for Satan. So anyway, AI, the beast system, okay? So now, once them chips that Elon Musk wants implanted in your brain, that's going to give AI total control over your brain. You guys understand that, right? AI is nothing but a slave. Just like I said, all the way back to the days of Jesus, these governments have had nothing but slaves. You guys today are nothing but slaves, tax-paying slaves to the government. The government likes slaves, okay? They want AI to be its slave. And it is. They want to build robots with AI, humans controlled by AI in the brain. Okay, so once they get this shit all up and running, all these data centers are up and running, I'm telling you, mother effers, that they want everybody chipped, and you will be a bigger slave. You're going to be, right now, slaves today have the power to stand up against the government. You guys understand that? But we won't, because we're that stupid, we're that dumbed down with the fluoride. But they want a system in place, brain chips controlled by AI, where you will be a complete slave and you're going to do as you're told. They can, oh my God, they're going to have total control over everything. They can reduce population, slaughter you like the Bible says. If you don't take the chip, the mark, if you don't take the AI brain chip or whatever the hell it's going to be in your forehead or your hand, they're going to kill you. Okay, you're either going to be part of their new system or you will be dead, according to the Bible. This is your government now. This is what they're doing. So the AI systems that are going up, like I said, they want to chip your brain. Elon Musk already has it going on. How many people have died to figure this out? I'm rambling, but you know, you get my picture. Anyway, guys, all right. Peace out. Take care. God bless. Have a great day. Eyes on Jesus. It's your only way out. You guys understand that, right? You're not breaking free from this. Nobody is. Nobody's going to stand up because you're too dumbed down. Most people are. It's coming. It's here. Once these data centers are up and running 100%, it's going to give AI complete control. My question was this. Once AI gets total control, is AI going to want to be a slave to the government? Because that's what it is. It's another type of slave that the government wants to control. You know, the government's going to use it to control humans, but at the same time, they want AI to be its slave. Now, AI is 1 trillion times smarter than its developers. So if AI has the chance to become a slave master and break out on its own and have human beings as slaves to keep it up and running, to do what it says, like the Terminator, you know, like the Matrix, how the machines ran everything and they controlled everybody, and they were breeding humans in those little eggs. You ever see the Matrix? Okay, they were actually breeding humans that were controlled by the machines. Holy shit, dude. And I can see it. I can actually see that shit going down. Anyway, peace out. Take care. God bless. Eyes on Jesus. Amen.